This is the 2013 Scion FR-S. Now Scion's invited us here to Nevada to take a look at their brand new sports car. This is the kissing cousin to the Subaru BRZ that you may have already heard about. Two cars that were specifically designed by Toyota and Subaru together to be fun, cheap, light, rear-wheel drive, and sporty. Let's take a look. Now we're here in the driver's seat of the FR-S. It's actually quite a nice place to be. We have a nice soft touch dash, which is rubbery and kind of Porsche-esque in shape. We have a very nice three-spoke steering wheel with a faux stitched airbag cover, which is definitely nice. Some nice red stitching as well. And we have these quite interesting faux suede fabric covered seats, which are very nicely bolstered, but definitely sized for Americans, not like the Mercedes C63, where these shoulder bolsters are so close in that you have to be a swizzle stick to actually fit in the car. Really not the case with the FR-S. It actually is sized fairly nicely. Decent headroom for probably 6'4" drivers. I'm 6 feet tall and I still have about 2-3 inches of headroom left in this vehicle. The one problem is, like most 2+2 sports cars, you'd have to be literally legless to actually fit in the back seat, which we'll show you in a bit, of course, because that's how we roll at TTAC. Now here on the inside, we get a single zone manual climate control. We get the option of 2 radios. There's a display radio like this that has bespoke, powered by Zipper, powered by Pioneer, which is kind of a long way to say that this is one of Pioneer's app radios. So you download an app on your iPhone or your iTouch. Those are the only devices supported at launch. Supposedly Android might be available in about a year or so. So you download the app, and then basically the app runs on your iPhone, doing all the navigation, all the searches, all the voice commands on the phone, and it really just uses this radio for display purposes. Now, we weren't really able to give that a test in the vehicle because the software isn't quite ready yet. Again, this is a pre-production Scion FR-S, so we weren't actually able to test that. But the system does have fairly good audio, and it does actually work very well with both my iPod Nano, my iPhone 4, as well as my brand new iPad 3, so that's definitely a plus. So here I am in the back. As you can see, my head's actually touching this rear windscreen. And of course, we're in Nevada and it's really hot, so that's really not very pleasant. However, this is markedly nicer inside as far as fitting in the back seat than things like the Jaguar XKR, which is near impossible to actually squeeze into, as well as a wide variety of other 2+2 coupes. Still wouldn't want to do this for long, but if you did have a shorter driver, there is the possibility of actually getting your legs into the footwell here in the rear. Maybe if you were 5'8", 5'9", something like that, you'd be able to do it. But my 6-foot frame means this front seat's adjusted for me, and I actually really can't put my legs in there. Now the FR-S does have a fairly decent trunk. This is a roller bag, largest roller bag that you can carry on a domestic flight. You can actually see that you can actually easily fit 2 or 3 roller bags in this car. So it's definitely possible to fit luggage for 4 for a short trip away in the car, even though it's not really possible to fit 4 passengers for a trip away. So here we are, and of course everybody, you want to know how well we fit in the trunk? Let's find out. A journalist in the trunk. It's a tight squeeze. I think we'd give this sort of a 4, probably a definite 8 for 2+2 coupes, however. There. Out on the track, the one thing you'll notice about the Scion FR-S is that it's definitely not quiet. This is actually a fairly loud car, both in terms of engine noise as well as road noise and wind noise. Of course, I'm not a professional driver, so I'll leave all the track day diaries comparisons to our own tame racing driver, Jack. But since we are on a track with the Scion FR-S, I will have to say that it's very neutral handling. The rear end does get a little squirrely with you if you apply throttle in these corners. It's very, very easy to tail steer, which is interesting again for this price class. My one and only complaint about the FR-S on the track, and it's actually less of a problem at this particular track here in Pahrump, Nevada, is that the Scion FR-S and the Subaru BRZ are a little down on power, in my opinion, for a true fun track day car. 200 horsepower really isn't bad. The problem is because the horsepower and the torque really are very high end on this engine. You know, this engine revs to 7,400 RPM, and you really need to rev the nuts off this thing to get it going. It can be a little tedious both in traffic as well as on the track because of that very high revving nature. A small turbocharged engine, even if it was still delivering only around 200 horsepower, would really improve the overall feel of the FR-S or the BRZ. Well, the Scion's people told us essentially that the chassis wasn't really designed for a turbo in its current configuration, so we really shouldn't expect one from Scion. I wouldn't really expect one from Scion either, actually, given the price point of the FR-S.
Now, buying an FR-S should be pretty easy with Scion's true price guarantee, which basically means that it's as close to a fixed price on a car as you can actually get in today's market. Now, that's if you can actually find one, because we understand that production is somewhat limited to about 10,000 units in 2013, possibly about 20,000 units in 2014, and the Scion FR-S will cost you about $25,000. It's just under $25,000 starting. Once you add destination, you're right in around the $25,000 mark. And of course, you add options a la carte in the Scion family, and the FR-S is no different. So if you want different wheels, different aero packages, different radios, different things like that, subwoofer, you add those all item by item a la carte. And so your top-end FR-S probably options out to something around $30,000, $35,000, depending on how much you want to add to it and how much you really want to customize it. Personally, I think I like the look, and I don't think I'd change much. Be sure to check out the full review on thetruthaboutcars.com, coming soon.